Greetings, namaskar, everybody. Um, had some responses in regards to doing enemas, and had a couple people ask me a multitude of questions, so I thought I'd hop on here, make a little how-to video, and kind of explain a little bit of the reasons as to why I personally do the enemas. Um, so to start, it is recommended in Arnold Ehret's mucusless diet healing system that one does enemas to aid in elimination of constipated waste. Um, so the idea is that the nature of human illness comes from pus and mucus forming foods, and the reason why there is latent illness in the body is because these pus and mucus forming foods do not eliminate. Therefore, they get stored in the body um, as pure filth and waste. And the reason why I've started doing the enemas is because I am trying to eliminate that mucus and pus. So far along my journey, I've transitioned into doing or being able to handle lemon enemas. Currently doing probably up to about 3 lemons is all I can do per 2 quarts. So I have a 2 quart enema bag, and I actually looked and saw that they sell, like huge bags. So, yeah, my ratio is 3 lemons per 2 quarts at the moment, but that's irrelevant. That's my own personal deal, so don't even really pay attention to how much I do. It's all about what you can do. So, like I said, we are trying to eliminate waste that's been up there, possibly our entire lives. For example, I just recently started eliminating mucoid plaque, and I now eliminate it on a regular basis. And that's actually where I've noticed the biggest physiological gains as far as my energy levels, my cravings for food, pretty much everything surrounding the diet. I would say that the enemas are definitely like a standalone, very important key factor in the transition. Um, and to address a couple of questions uh, from some people on YouTube asking me, how much water I can retain, how long I hold it for, what the protocol is. Um, so as far as like how much water I can hold, it really depends on whether I've had a bowel movement or not, or how much I ate the night before. Because you got to think about the idea of putting water inside of you when there's already still food trying to be digested. So the more food that's been completely digested, the more water you'll be able to retain. It really just kind of depends on that, and that's something you'll have to kind of feel around for yourself. So, for example, maybe during a fast, you can hold 4 quarts, and on a regular or days that you're eating, you might not be able to hold as much just because of the matter that's inside of you. Um, uh, Another question: when to and when to not do enemas? I can't really think of a time not to do them. Um, I started doing regular enemas, pretty much on a daily basis, and I found great results. Nothing bad to say about them, not causing any issues, or it's not causing my bowel movements or my colon or anything in my digestive tract not to function properly. It actually has helped in the function of my digestive organs. I actually find myself having much better and more frequent bowel movements naturally without the enemas. Once again, I'm mainly doing the enemas to break off that waste that's just been in there for years and years from the pus and mucus forming foods. Another question, should I do them before, after, or during a fast? My response would probably be I would do them before, I would do them after, and I would also do them during. Um, During the fast is going to be the most important time to do an enema just because you've got all that waste recirculating in your system. Um, and so you're bringing all that junk, that waste, toxinas, acids, everything's coming back in to your bloodstream. And so you really want to do your best job to help eliminate that and not store it in the body. The longer it gets stored in the body, the more damage it's going to do. And so you want to eliminate it as soon as possible. Should you do enemas if you're not fasting? Absolutely. Like I said, I do them on a regular basis, so I'm definitely a huge advocate of continual use of the enema. If you're low body weight and have been losing a lot of weight, should I start doing lemon enemas, and how often? So as far as my transition from just doing, well, I guess I should back up and say at first I actually started with room temperature water, which was the most comfortable way for me to take the enema. Then I transitioned to kind of like warm or hot water, and that was a little bit different and it had a little bit greater of an effect. And then I tried a single lemon, made my way up to 2, and now I'm just in like the 2-3 range. Sometimes it's kind of a struggle as far as how long I'm able to hold it. So the whole thing about adding lemons, from my personal experience is that it's a transition. It's something you have to transition into being more comfortable with. And so if you try a lemon and you just, your body just instantly wants to get rid of it, maybe do just some hot water, some warm water for a couple days, but, build up to it. Just as with the higher levels of eating, there are higher levels of enema use for stronger elimination. And the reason why you use the lemon is because it's a acidic fruit that's highly astringent. So, for example, the lemon will get in there and really pull out the waste and really break up the toxins, or not break up toxins, but like the impacted fecal matter, the mucoid plaque. It really helps dissolve it off the walls of your colon and intestines, which I can say from personal experience. And it was enough for me to say that I need to continue doing my enemas because they are absolutely phenomenal in this transition. And just in general, I think. I know I get questions, like, doesn't that seem unnatural? I'm like, doesn't it seem unnatural that we've been eating pus and mucus-forming foods for so long, and that we've endured such physiological karma? And I think the enema is probably the best thing that we could be doing as far as reversing that and trying to get back to being more human-like. But that's a different thing. But yeah, I just say, it's like, well, I'm just reversing the damage that I've done to myself, so I'd rather be, doing an enema than having some crazy heart surgery from some latent illness, or I don't know, getting something operated on or cut on, or taking some pharmaceuticals that are going to be so much more destructive than just removing waste from your system. See how much water. Now I'll just kind of go over like my process, or I guess kind of like a how-to. So what I do is I start by taking my lemons, juicing them. I just have like the cheap little glass cone that you just twist the lemon on it, and then I pour it through a filter. So you want to make sure to at least filter out the pulp and the lemons. Some people are going to use a juicer. to where it might have a different effect. But for me, you just want to make sure it's going to be able to flow through the bag and out the little spouts um, on the plastic tip of the enema. And then, so I'll get all those, I'll put them in the bag, and then I'll let my, I know I should be using distilled water. I personally haven't been. We have well water, which is extremely clean, and we get it tested on a regular basis, and it and we don't have fluoride. We have much cleaner water than most people, even though I would definitely recommend distilled water, just because it's even cleaner. But I usually take water, heat it up to where it's warm or hot, but it's still I'm still able to use it. And so with that warm or hot water, depending on what you're comfortable with, I will go ahead and put the rest into the bag and fill it up. And so I'll have 2 quarts. But once again, if you're not ready for the lemons, or you're not ready for 2 or 3, you know, see where you're at and feel out what you can handle. So yeah, now that I've got the full bag, you know, I'll put the lid back on it. I definitely recommend like some type of a lubricant, maybe like whatever type of natural jelly, or you know, that's your thing, whatever works for you. I don't really have much. I just I lay a towel down on the floor. But one thing I did in the beginning, until I was just like, oh, duh, was I tried actually like sitting on the toilet and doing it, and it was just like really ineffective. So definitely lay down, get comfortable. I lay a towel down, and then I found, initially I thought laying on my right side would work better, but I found that laying on my left side actually works a lot better for just being able to take everything in. And what I'll do is I'll lay on my left side, and then I'll get everything where it needs to be. I'll set the bag up on my washer, just because it's at a higher elevation, and so the water will come down. And then a big factor for me was being able to relax. At first I was like, whoa, this feels too weird, I cannot relax, and the water was having trouble flowing, just because, you know, you're not used to the reverse order of things. And so what I did was just focus on relaxing, and then it just gets easier and easier. And so I would usually lay there with the bag sitting on the washer or dryer, and then all but just a little bit would come out. Then I would, you know, reach up there, grab it, roll it up, and squeeze, make sure everything was out, and then just set it on the ground. And then I just kind of lay there, rest for a few minutes, and then I would roll over on the other side for a few minutes, and just kind of like maybe do like a massage on my stomach, kind of lay there. You want to make sure it's working well. One thing that I do that's pretty crazy is I'll actually do handstands or headstands in my bathroom, because if you think about it, it's just going to help the water penetrate farther into the digestive tract, possibly surpassing the colon and getting into like the intestines. So yeah, that's what I do there. You want to hold it, I don't know about as like long as you can, but you want to progressively hold it for a longer period of time, especially with the lemon enemas. That's where like the longer periods that you can hold it in there work better. And so that's when it really starts to soak into the impact of fecal matter. So if you think about it, maybe the first couple times you do an enema, you got the hot water, maybe like a lemon in there, and you get going, and then it's just like, what? Half of it came out? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What happened to it? Well, you've got this crusted, impacted crap inside of you, and as the water hits it, it's going to start to absorb it, and then it will start to break off and start to eliminate. But it may take a few times. It's not just going to happen all at once, and that's why I suggest definitely making it a routine and just seeing what happens to you. Because that's the biggest thing is, like what happens to you. Um, and so, yeah, I do that. And then, I even sometimes go back. Sometimes if I know that, like, I want to, like, really get a bit deeper, I'll just do a hot water enema to start. And then have my elimination, get everything out, and then go back and try a lemon enema and see how much success I have. I definitely wouldn't hesitate to, try it a couple times, or, there have been times where I'm like, I just want to see, how much, how deep this can get. So, I've done about 4.5 quarts. And so I want to test that when I'm in like more of a fasting mode as well, so there's less encumbrance being digested. But you can like really play around with it and just see like what fits you the best and like what works the best for you. But those are just kind of like some guidelines, or some of the ways that I do it. Um, and then it definitely helps to sit on the toilet for a while, because sometimes it takes a long time for it to come out. Or something that I personally do. Say I sit down and I know it's not all out, and I know there's just something needed to help aid the elimination, I'll go do some jumping jacks or some crunches or something that just stimulates the area, organs. Or, I mean, essentially what it's doing, just like with physical exercises, is it's helping break up the waste and helping the waste just move out and eliminate. That's why when you exercise, you sweat, and then you might have to use the bathroom, or you might have all of these different experiences that are basically surrounded around elimination, because when you shake your body, it's going to help eliminate all the waste. Trying to think if there are any other questions surrounding it. Not sure. I'll show you guys this. This is kind of cool. My mom likes to make applesauce from the apples at this local farm, and so we'll peel the apples and then make the applesauce. Just literally cut the apples up, put them on low, and then eventually they do their business, and it's just straight up applesauce, which is phenomenal. But there's like the peels and all the extra trimmings. I'll actually stick it into a huge blender, add some lemon juice, and it's basically kind of like a applesauce lemon puree, mostly out of a lot of just skins and like thin slices of the apple meat, which to me seems like a really good elimination tool, because all the fiber, and then I'm adding like an entire lemon just to that glass. So I think that's going to be beneficial as well, because if you think about it, if adding lemon to the enemas is so beneficial with its astringent properties and being able to pull out the waste and pull out the toxins, it's also going to be efficient going in this hole as well. And so drinking lemon water, and I mean, just the lemons are phenomenal. They're like a staple for me, which is kind of funny. Run to the store, get a couple bags of lemons and some more kale. Yeah, that's kind of funny, getting caught up in the conversation with people in lines like, what you doing with all that? I'm like, yeah, it's like my staple foods. They're like, staple foods? Those aren't staple foods. Those aren't even real foods. Where's your real food? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. But anyways, guys, take care. Hope this helped. And if you have any questions, get a hold of me through Facebook, Doug Brunson. And then I have a couple more YouTube videos. Love to help anybody out. Was just sharing some of my personal experience. So, namaskar, guys. Take care.